financial instruments to raise cash. So they make the financial instruments more liquid. Okay, and the increased liquidity of these instruments makes them more desirable and thus easier for the issuing firm to sell in the primary market. Okay, so in the other words, if the instrument is more frequently sold and purchased in the secondary market, in the same way, they will be more liquid. Okay, they will have more liquidity in the primary market. Okay, so the increased liquidity of the instruments makes them more desirable and easier for the issuing firm to sell in the primary market. Okay. The second reason, the secondary market can determine the price of the security. Okay. Actually, the investors who buy securities in the primary market will pay the issuing corporation no more than the price they think the secondary market will set for the security. Okay, so in other words, once they have paid the price in the primary market, in the secondary market, they are not going to pay the price above the primary market. Okay. However, the higher the securities price sold in the secondary market, this information will be transferred to the issuing firm. Okay, then they will receive a higher, they can acquire a higher amount of financial funds, through the primary market. Okay, so the higher the securities price in the secondary market, the higher the price the issuing firm will receive for the new security in the primary market, and hence the greater the amount of financial capital it can raise. Okay, so that's how the financial market makes the secondary market so important. One is that it increased the liquidity. Okay, if the higher the liquidity of the instruments in the secondary market, the higher the liquidity it is going to have for the instruments in the primary market. And also it determines the price of the securities. Okay, the higher the price sold in the secondary market, the higher the funds the issuing firm can earn through the new securities. And then the greater the amount of financial capital they can raise. And secondary market, in the secondary market we have seen exchanges and over-the-counter market. The other thing I would like to point out, it is also very important. So in the previous slide, we have seen that for the issuing firms to sell the new securities, they need help from the investment bank. So the investment bank underwrites the new securities, in the primary market. How about in the secondary market? In the secondary market, we see that dealers and brokers so in the secondary market, the traders, dealers and brokers, they are very important in the secondary market, because they can have the securities, to be traded. And in the primary market, investment bank underwrites the new securities. And also in the secondary market, we have seen these two types of market, okay, one of them is exchanges. Okay, all the instruments, they are traded in a central location. Okay, that's exchanges. The other one, if we trade the instruments, okay, in a decentralized location, that's in the over-the-counter market. Okay, so markets have central location, that's exchanges. Okay, and each country will have at least one national stock exchanges. And we have seen listed securities. Okay, and it has a centralized place. Okay, and also it plays the key role of acting as a counterparty to all trades. It removes counterparty risk. Okay, and also it provides a level playing field for all types of investors. And exchanges offer greater regulatory oversight. Whereas over-the-counter market, okay, it is decentralized. Okay, and in the market, okay, we have seen NASDAQ, foreign exchange, negotiate certificate of deposit, and federal funds, and also we have seen non-listed securities. Okay, and what are the characteristics of the OTC? Okay, it is decentralized. Okay, and also it generally have lower transaction costs compared to exchanges. Okay, and the prices for the securities vary from trade to trade and from firm to firm. Okay, and the OTC markets are likely to counterparty risk because there is no centralized exchange, and the parties are directly dealing with each other. Okay, so conversely, exchanges, okay, they can remove the counterparty risk. However, in the over-the-counter market, okay, because there is no centralized place, okay, they are prone to counterparty risk. Okay, that's the difference between exchanges and over-the-counter. Okay, so who are the people who help trade securities? In the primary market, we have seen investment bank. In the secondary market, okay, we have seen dealers and the brokers. Okay. Okay, let's see the difference between dealers and brokers. Okay. A broker is a person who executes the trade on behalf of others, whereas a dealer is a person who trades business on their own behalf. Okay, so one trades on the behalf of others, the other one, okay, they trade business on their own. Okay. A dealer is a person who will buy and sell securities on their account. Okay, again, because he or she trades business, okay, on his own behalf. So he has his own account. On the other hand, a broker is the one who will buy and sell securities for their clients. Okay. So when dealing with securities, dealers make all decisions in respect of purchases. Okay. However, a broker will only make purchases as per the client's wishes. So dealers have all the rights and freedom regarding the buying and selling of securities. Brokers seldom have this freedom and the rights. Okay. And when talking about their experience, a broker has only a little experience in the field compared to dealers. It has also been seen that brokers become dealers once they get experience. Okay, so who is more experienced?
Dealer.
Yeah, dealers. Okay. And a broker is normally paid a commission for transacting the business. Brokers do not have any assets, but only act as middlemen between sellers and buyers. And a dealer is not paid a commission, and he or she is a primary principal. Dealers will have assets of their own, which they sell at a later stage. Okay, so that's the difference between dealers and brokers, and they serve as important role, okay, in the secondary market. Okay. On the right, we talk about investment bank. Okay. An underwriter is any party that evaluates and assumes another party's risk for the fee. And the fee is often a commission, premium, spread, or interest. Underwriters are critical to the financial world, including the mortgage industry, insurance industry, equity market, and common types of debt securities trading. Okay. And they are considered the risk experts of the financial world. Investors rely on them because they determine if a business risk is worth taking. Underwriters also contribute to sales types activities. For example, in the case of an IPO, the underwriter might purchase the entire IPO issue and sell it to investors. And underwriters do not always purchase IPO issue stocks or guarantee a certain price for it. They only promise to to use best efforts to sell the issue to the public at the best possible price. Okay, that's what underwriters do. Okay, now how about equity underwriter? In equity market, underwriters administer the public issuance and distribution of securities in the form of common or preferred stock from the corporation or other issuing body. Okay, and the most prominent role of an equity writer is in the IPO process. An IPO is the process of selling shares of a previously private company on a public stock exchange for the first time. Okay. And IPO underwriters are financial specialists who work closely with the issuing body to determine the initial offering price of the securities, buy the securities from the issuer, and sell the securities to investors via the underwriters distribution network. Okay. And these underwriters are investment banks that have IPO specialists on staff. And these investment banks work with the company to ensure that all regulatory requirements are satisfied. Okay. And then the IPO specialists contact a large network of investment organizations, such as mutual funds and insurance companies, to gauge investment interest. And the amount of interest received by these large institutional investors helps an underwriter set the IPO price of the company's stock. The underwriter also guarantees that a specific number of shares will be sold at that initial price and will purchase any surplus. Okay, so that's what the equity underwriters do. Okay, so they are very important in the primary market. Okay, they can help the new securities to be sold, okay, in the primary market. Okay, and they will determine the price in the primary market. Okay. Also, we have debt security underwriter. Okay, so they set the market price. So they create a fair and stable market for financial transactions. Okay, and then they can carry a certain risk that the consumer will either default, file a claim, or fail, a potential loss to the issuer or lender. A big part of the underwriter's job is to weigh the non-risk factors and investigate an applicant's truthfulness to determine the minimum price for providing coverage. Okay. And underwriters have to establish the true market price of risk by deciding on a case-by-case basis which transactions they are willing to cover and what rates they need to charge to make a profit. And underwriters also have to expose unacceptably risk applicants, such as employee people asking for expensive mortgages, those in poor health who request life insurance, or companies that attempt an IPO before they are ready by rejecting the coverage in some cases. Okay. Questions? Okay. So right now, okay, we have covered two topics. One is about the function of financial market. The other one is based upon the priority of securities, priority of claim, okay, based upon the date of maturity, based upon whether the instrument is sold primarily, based upon the trade location, okay. We can divide markets into debt and equity, into market money and capital, into primary and secondary, into exchanges and over the counter. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Because today is the first class. Okay. I might just give you a shorter class. No homework. Okay. But if you like to discuss your final term project topic with me, I'm here.
What should we write about?
Anything about finance. Your final term project. Finance. It could be about stocks, or bonds, or exchange rates.
Can I use my topic for this class?
Oh, you mean the green energy?
I still working on both, but I'm not sure.
Oh.
Because like I really like the Robinhood one, but I don't have many sources to work with. There are like 5 papers that written about a whole subject.
Oh, okay.
So it's either Robinhood or regulatory fairness of green energy. Can I use those kind?
Yeah, it's okay.
So will we publish the assignment later?
Oh, you would like to publish?
I just asked whether can we publish?
Yeah, if you would like to publish, we can work on that. Yeah.